Okay, well, hi everyone. Today, this is like my, I don't know, second attempt trying to record this. Uh, I don't really have a script, but just kind of want to try and like record some kind of like, unscripted yapping video talking about stuff that I really like, so naturally I decided, you know, what am I gonna yap about than something that's my social interest, than, my self ships. I like talking about them. They make me pretty happy, so, you know, I guess it makes sense. Um, so yeah, I guess just gonna, you know, chat about them a little bit, I guess. I guess specifically to this video, I'm gonna probably talk about the lore about the self ship, I have with myself and Devisto. That's what I'm gonna start with. Um, so, first off, my Sona's name in Dive of Death, his name is Cinnamon. He is a guy that works at a cafe. He's like a barista, works at a little cafe. Um, his whole thing is mostly just, he's trying to get, his, um, life situated after experiencing some difficulties in his life, and decided, moving to this place, in the place where Dive Death takes place at, the city where the town or city, whatever, where Dive Death takes place at. Um, he thought that moving there would probably help things a little bit, help in the situation. And, he decides to work as a barista. Even though he dislikes people, he does like coffee. And, so he decides, like, why don't I just, this was his hiring, and they seem pretty accommodating to my needs, so why don't I work here, So he gets a job working as a barista, and ultimately he meets Devesto when one day the coffee machine at Devesto's place is broken. And, the place that Devesto works at, the coffee machine in the break room is broken. And he gets frustrated trying to figure out how to fix it. And normally he's a very crafty guy, but he's not really allowed to, like, do his crafty work stuff when he's on the job. He's not paid to be the tech guy. He's paid to, papers and all of that. So he hits up this little coffee place on his let's break. It's pretty close to where he works at, surprisingly. And he meets Cinnamon, who it would be like within like his first week working there. Asks him like, "Hey, make me the strongest coffee you could possibly muster up. I got a long day ahead of me because the coffee machine in my place was broken. My workplace is broken. I'm gonna need some real strong coffee if I'm gonna need to survive that. Until they can either fix it, or I can fix it my dang self." So Cinnamon says, "Okay, I'll go ahead and get you your coffee in a jiffy." And Devesto gets his coffee. Looks like it's a complimentary like little pastry, because they're having like a little opening special, I guess, since the cafe just kind of opened, I guess, or something like that. Devoso is immediately like surprised at how good the coffee is, because like it's a bit, it would be a bit surprising considering that the coffee that he orders is like, you think it'd just be like a simple black coffee, right? Well, here's something that's a little bit interesting. Cinnamon, he has magic powers. Well, kind of similar to how kind of similar to how, Artful has magic. but he's not related to Artful in any way. If anything, like him and Artful are probably just friends or something like that. But um, so Cinnamon, his abilities are he likes to use he has like the ability to summon like summon sparkles and koi fish and things like that. And when he's although the koi fish does only really appear when he's focused and when he's working. But those abilities, when he uses them in his work, they often enhance the abilities. They often enhance like the properties of whatever he touches. So, for example, if he's making a coffee and he uses his magic, whether intentionally or not, and his magic touches the coffee, and he's using his magic and he makes the coffee. The coffee's properties will be enhanced, and whoever drinks it will feel a lot more vitalized and energized than they did before. And the coffee will just taste like extra good to them, even if it's just like a simple black coffee. It'll taste so much like better and more interesting, and it'll just taste so much like nicer. So Devesto decides to keep coming back to this little place. He's really just trying to convince himself. At first, it's like, oh, it's not because like the barista is cool or anything. It's just because, the coffee is nice and my workplace still hasn't fixed the damn coffee machine. So this is better than nothing. So ultimately, Devesto and Cinnamon start to, they learn more about each other. They get to know each other better. Once they, they start to get to know each other better. Once, the dust settles a little bit, and they start catching each other when they're like, on their bikes and things like that. And Devesto eventually learns about Cinnamon's whole thing. Cinnamon had just escaped from a bad living situation, and at this point, when he's working at the cafe, he's living basically in a storage unit. And it's really a difficult situation. Cinnamon also has a fear of cars, so he to get to work every day, he either rides a bike or he takes like public transport. But he tries to avoid public transport because he doesn't like public stuff. He doesn't really like public transport because people can be quite disgusting on public transport. If you know, you know. So Cinnamon kind of tells Sylvester this and is like, I just kind of been struggling with a difficult situation and all of this. It's no big deal though. I've been trying to just do my best to manage shit. And Devesto goes, wait, you're just talking about this like it's like a normal thing? That's a bit weird. I've been trying to deal with some stuff myself, so, I've been trying to look for a new place. So, how about we look for a new place together? You and me, we can live together, and if you don't have to agree to it. But, we can like split the bill on like rent and all of that. We'll help you figure out stuff, and we'll see if we like it. We'll see like go from there. Cinnamon ultimately agrees, because like at this point they've known each other for a good, like I'd say a month or two now, like a good like few months now. He would never move into some place with someone he just met. So this isn't I just met this guy and I'm gonna like move in with him type situation. And again, they're not even dating or anything. They're just friends who are trying to help each other out in a bad living situation. And let's maybe take into account maybe the economy for a moment, but yeah, so the whole thing is quite interesting, you know. Um yeah, so essentially, you know, they found a decent place. They, you know, they move into that place they start living together. And that's when Devesto and Cinnamon start getting more comfortable with one another. I mean, they already were pretty comfortable with each other up to that point, but it gets to a new level of comfort since, you know, they're living with each other. And, you know, at first, Cinnamon, it takes a lot longer to really warm up to the fact that he's living with someone who won't, you know, at least won't intentionally try to make his life a living hell, so to speak. So it does take him a while to warm up to the fact that he is living with someone now, make no mistake. And he worries that he made this whole decision out of impulse and that he's going to be trapped in this type situation again that he just tried to escape from. But ultimately, Devesto does give him, you know, comfort, and he genuinely does like the guy. And then it hits him that he really likes Devesto. It's a bit weird to, you know, I mean, friends do like live with each other. There are situations of friends living with each other, but this is like different, you know. Moving in with Devesto and seeing how this guy really is when you move in with him is quite it's different, you know. Seeing him when he's, are you freaking kidding me? Seeing him when he's, you know, not being as stuck up, when he's just being more casual, stuff like that, is really, it's really quite the sight, really. Dog. Whoa, what the heck? Oh. Hi. I do not know how to use a spear. I'm gonna get mauled. Yeah, I don't like using the spear. Must take me some time to get used to. I guess the spear has a cooldown? But, anyways. Yeah. And this goes the same for Devesto, too. Devesto realizes that he has fallen in love with Cinnamon, seeing, you know, Cinnamon as he is, and just, you know, they're just both very comforted by each other. And, like, at this point, they're, like, really comfortable with one another. And now that they, you know, they've already moved in with each other and everything like that, there really isn't that much to worry about at this point. And they trust each other a lot. And it's like, you know, really the worst that could happen is that, you know, really awkward stuff, like one of them could say no or whatever, but again, really, that's like a worst case scenario type thing. But, you know, eventually at some point, whether it's by accident or on purpose, one or the other confesses, and yeah, they fall in love. It's like, you know, it's a whole thing. Yeah, that's kind of like my lore for my selfship with Devesto. Honestly, it's a bit, I don't really have it all entirely fleshed out, but anyways, thank you for listening to me yap about this. I'm probably gonna be making more yap videos about more of my ships in the future. So yeah, thank you for listening, and hope you stay safe, stay cozy, and take care.